to a brand new episode of More Than Just Task Management, your favorite weekly productivity goal setting go achievement podcast, which from today onwards, we are broadcasting live in our Focus and Fulfillment Facebook group. So if you are in the Facebook group, come say hi, ask us questions as we are discussing this. And we are an Angelova. I'm a coach, consultant, business consultant, and a productivity junkie and co-founder of Plandor. And as usual, with me here is Jores Minasvand. Hey, Jores.
Hey, Anna. And I'm the consultant of the dinosaurs.
Yes, you're the consultant of dinosaurs. That's so true. But we're not talking about consulting or business or anything like this here. And I, if you have listened to the previous episodes, we just resumed our conversations talking about goal setting and achievements. And last week we talked about mindset, we talked about identity. And as we are continuing on this journey of living a fulfilling life, ultimately, today what we will be focusing on is habits. And habits, specifically, one of the habits that I would say is probably a keystone habit, not only if you are looking for losing weight or being more healthy or whatever it is, it's for me, it's a keystone habit for living a life, a great life, and this is exercising. And it's so interesting because I started rereading this morning. I started rereading the book a few days ago, and this morning I was reading one of the chapters of The Miracle Morning for Entrepreneurs. And in this chapter, the author was talking about 5 principles, and the second principle, the first principle was taking 100% responsibility. I'm like, man, this is it. Like it's so so spot on with aligned with what we talked about last week. And then the second principle he talked about was exercising, how important it is, and it's hard. Like we know that nowadays a lot of us are very sedentary. We work in front of a computer all day long. We sit all day long. And actually, some studies are finding that exercising on its own might not be enough when it comes to too much sitting, that you actually need to move out throughout the day. But let's not go on tangents. Let's focus on exercising. And Joris, I want you to start first and share a little bit more about your personal journey, because you are, for me personally, you are my role model. The way that you've been consistent, and I've mentioned this before in other conversations, how we have the Beachbody On Demand subscription. We've had it for maybe 3-4 years now, probably since
Mm,
the 20 infamous 2020.
mhm,
So it might be even 5-6 years. You finish one program after another, and some of them you've gone through them a few times. And then I'll start a program. I might start even with you and then stop a week or two into the program.
mm,
And so far, for these 5 or 6 years, I only finished one program, the 21-day program. So
mhm.
I want to start with you and hear about your journey with exercising, with creating this habit, because for you it's already there. For you, it's harder to not exercise than to exercise.
Mm. What is a habit? It's something that you do so much that when you wake up in the morning, it's just part of that day. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to force yourself. It becomes part of lifestyle. That's the difference between like when you get a habit to the level of becomes your lifestyle. Like you said, you have known me what, oh, plus 10 plus years. Like even 15 years before that, it was never. I will always exercise. So to me, it's and I've always said it. There are a whole bunch of people that call me role model as well, and I'm glad I am a role model for you. Very recently, I got a young person, 30 something. Uh, he was a smoker. He was okay, but he was after at 30, if you keep smoking by 50, you're done. Uh, I got him into running, and he said it. He said, "You got me into running," and it's just leading by example. It's because I don't do it for other people. If I do it for you, just show off. Okay, I'll do it for a couple of weeks and then I'll stop. And then I'll find somebody else to show up because that's not my goal. My goal is for me. It's comes from within. I can push you for 6 months. I can push you for 6 years. When I move away, you'll stop. So to have a habit, to have a, I think we talked about this goal as well. What helps with when you set the right goal and you do something repeatedly towards that goal, eventually, I think they say 21 days, right? Something becomes a habit.
Now they're saying, so initially it was 21 days, but now there is research that it can be anywhere from like 20 to 21 days to 6 months. Like it really
Yeah,
depends on what the
depends on what
habit
it is.
is.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
yeah. So set the right goal, and my goal was set for me without my me knowing. Maybe I did it to myself when I developed cancer, and I was facing, leaving a wife and two kids under 2 years old behind, and all the stuff that comes with it. And I just that became my goal, and I set the habit. The funny thing is that we're going through something else right now. There is a way to there are things that are good to set as a habit, becomes your lifestyle, but there are things that are habitual that you should stop. And when you stop it, you're like, okay, I'm not stuck, I'm not hooked. It is a habit, and we broke it, right? This is day 11 that we haven't had wine. Out of the blue we stopped. So we realized it was a habit and we stopped it. So good.
Oh yeah, I agree with what you're saying that absolutely some habits are good, others are not as good, and others can be completely destructive, actually. And yeah, what you said, like the habit is something that a lot of the things we do are actually habits in our lives. Not just running. Like even if you think about it, even driving, like starting the
Yeah.
car and all these kind of things, it turns into a habit. And you had a very strong reason to start exercising. For me, personally, it hasn't been so strong, right? And I'm grateful for this. I appreciate it that it's a choice I'm making with exercising. And one of the things I was thinking, was it maybe yesterday after the workout and the jog yesterday, I was thinking that one of the beautiful things about exercising, and especially with running, is that in a way it already has that reward built in, because like one of the ways, like one of the parts of habit formation, and this is something that we've probably mentioned it and we mention it again. So there is usually a cue, like something that triggers the habit, and then from there you do whatever you do. Like you get in the car, you sit down, you put your belt in, like you fasten your belt, you start the car, like it's habitual. And then even in the morning, what we do in the morning, a lot of it is habitual. And like you said, in the evening, it's like time to cook. Okay, let's pour some wine and
Well,
go in the kitchen and start cooking. And so you have the trigger. It might be the time of the day, it might be the location, whatever it is that triggers that activity, something that we do without realizing, consciously realizing we are doing it or how we are doing it. And then
yeah.
after that, there is some kind of a reward. And the best part about exercising in general, but specifically with running, is that it comes with its own reward. Like the endorphins after the experience, it's like I want to go out again. And especially in the summer now that it's summer and we run outside, also the sunshine, the vitamin D, it's like I can't wait for the next run to come. It feels so good. It feels so good. And based on what you were saying, definitely not there yet with my exercising, because it has been like one of the things I actually love, and I know my thoughts go in different ways sometimes, but so one of the things that I think I was attending a training from Darren Hardy, and one of the questions was, when do you stop a habit? Like when do you stop building the habit? And what he said is that ultimately, like what you're saying, Joris, as well, that as we are striving to achieve our goals, as we're working towards our goals, certain things become part of our lifestyle. They become who we are, how we live life. And this is ultimately with exercising, this is what you want to do. Whether you're building your own business, whether you're working for someone else, maybe you're already retired, but the benefit from exercising, I'm reading a magazine that talks about exercising, and two separate doctors in the first two articles are saying that if there was a pill that gives the same uh, results, that does the same for our body as exercising, we will be lining up to buy this. It's amazing. It makes us younger, stronger, unbelievable. Prevent disease. Like, it's life changing, and like for me, I'm still at a stage where I can stop the workouts and I wouldn't feel bad. And this is where, if you think about a habit, whether it's exercising or something else, yes, in the beginning it's hard. Like you need to have those cues, you need to have the structure. And what I'm personally doing is I decided that 10 a.m. 10 a.m. I was thinking maybe I do it first thing in the morning, but no, I'm not. I'm not a person to go exercise first thing in the morning at 5 a.m. So I thought 10 a.m. is a good time, especially right now. It's not too hot. It's good if I'm going for the run. It's a great time for me to do this, and I actually have the time to do this. So in the beginning, you definitely need to have that structure. Pick a time. For me, it's 10 a.m. And then from there, you need to do it. Like you need to push yourself and do this. And as I said, with exercise, one of the beautiful things is that there is already a built-in reward, but you can create your own reward as well. You can decide that after, I don't know, a few workouts, you can do something, like you can buy something for yourself or treat yourself with something, create some kind of a reward. And as discouraging as it might sound for some people, it's definitely when it comes to exercising, when it comes to working out, you know that you don't need to consciously work on this habit. Only when not doing it is harder than doing it.
Which is for me. You see how depressed I get after maybe a week of not working out. I start getting depressed. I start going down. My vision. I told you, my vision. I have a probably 2019 and a half, like 2019, if not 2020 vision. I don't wear glasses for reading like close. If I don't work out, especially like pump iron, for a week, my eyes started going blurry, literally. So those are signs, and I'm depressed, and I miss those endorphins. But going back to a couple of things, points that you mentioned, how do you make something a habit? You run for 6 days, and then not you in person, but uh, proverbial you run for 6 days and you stop for 10 days. You years that will never become a habit. What what helps you make it a habit is consistency. And consistently, don't focus on 6 months from now that I want to be 50 pounds lower, or I want to run a 10K marathon, or I want to wear a thong in my high school reunion on a cruise ship. Focus on tomorrow. Today you ran, tomorrow you run. Tomorrow 10 a.m. something comes up, go at 10:30, go at 2:30. You've seen how my schedule changes for workout. I can get up at 5 a.m., do a workout. I can do a workout at 11 or 1 p.m. I don't work out after like 3 p.m. because it just doesn't help me with sleep. So next week I'm in Europe. I don't have time because I'm in the office from 9 to 5, and then I'm going for dinners and just the city with the client and with friends. My workout is 5 a.m. I'm not going to 10, 6 months now, 10, 11. Next week is 5 a.m. That's the consistency. The second thing is I don't reward myself. I'm very, you know me, I'm very military. I'm like, oh, you ran today? Boo-hoo, I cry for you. F you. You run tomorrow too. What reward? What reward? Reward is your health. Suck it up and go run tomorrow. Rewarding what? Buying myself what? So that military mindset lowers my expectation of the outcome. And it's like, if you want to lose 4 pounds, doesn't mean day 3 of the week, 4 pounds a week. It doesn't mean the day 3 of the week you have to have lost, for 2 pounds or 4 pounds. And you have consistency lose point for, maybe you don't lose it in 1 week, but you lose it in 10 days. That's okay. It's the trajectory. Are you going towards your goal or are you going away from your goal? These are the things that you have to, whatever works for you. Okay, no problem. Don't be military like me. Reward yourself, whatever it is, right? So what we do now. So our reward would be we have a chocolate for every few pounds that I lose, right? Every 5 pounds that I lose, we eat chocolate. So if you don't eat chocolate, it's my fault. So for me, it's like I have to go do this so Anna can have chocolate. So if that's what you, by all means, do it. The idea is you can find 1,000 reasons not to and one reason to do it. 1,000 excuses versus one reason. And that one reason, every day you get up, that 2 milliseconds is the difference for you to put your shoes on and go for a jog versus, or pick up a dumbbells and chips. That's what over a 20-year period makes a huge difference. When you get to an age where at the age over 60, you fly to Europe and your teammates who are between 25 and 30 tell you to slow down. Like that's the distinction. That's the difference. Maybe like you're right. I was lucky. My wake up call came in my mid-30s, but I haven't fallen back this. We'll see. But yeah, consistency is very important.
Yeah, this is actually a very good point with consistency. By the way, you are a little bit choppy, so not sure how things are, and you freeze from time to time. But I will pick up what you were saying about consistency, and this has been my biggest problem. As I mentioned, I would start a program, and then mm, after that I would uh, stop the program and not continue. And like you said, I would have a burst of doing something for even a few weeks, and then I would stop. And this is where things are not really happening. And this is not, consistency is not just for exercising, it's for any habit you're building, because that science that says 21 days or anywhere from 20 days to like 6 months, it really depends on how often you do something, how complicated it is, so you get used to this. So absolutely, and this is where I like one of the other things that I don't remember where I heard it the first time, but it's don't break the chain. And I'm using, we have it's just for 1 month, like a calendar for 1 month, where I every time I write the new dates, it's one of those calendars with that you can wipe out, like the one on the fridge, and I put the check marks. And for me, so Sundays for me are days off, but last week it was Saturday. Saturday I didn't do anything, so Sunday was not a day off. So I have one day off during the week, and otherwise I'm building the habit. So doing something every day, 10 o'clock. And as I said, for me right now, what's working, and I'm already almost 10 pounds down, by the way. It's been alternating the 5K runs, and I do run walk thing. So run a little bit, walk a little bit, and then doing 645, which is like weightlifting, one of the Beachbody programs. And after that, going for 20 to maybe 30 minutes, more of a jogging, walking kind of thing, just to keep the momentum. So this is something that's been working for me. And of course, one of the other things that we are doing, and the summer is, by the way, the best time to do this, is the portions, because this was one of the things here in North America when I came to Canada. Initially, I was like, oh wow, these portions are huge. And I wouldn't eat the whole thing, like I would eat the half of it. And then suddenly I got used to it. And we started eating smaller portions. And also, the past, I think, week or a little bit over a week, we've been eating soups for lunch. Like we had chicken soup,
Mm.
we had tarator. If you don't know what tarator is, go and check it out. It's awesome for the summer. So uh, eating is important, like when it comes to the goal of weight loss. The one that not weight loss, it's fat loss to be correct.
Fat loss.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. But yeah, when it comes to exercising, the benefits are huge for your health, for your mind, like for your mindset, your productivity, everything. Like it energizes you, it completely changes your life. And remember, we were listening to uh, Executive Presence, the Executive Presence
Mm.
book. And there
Yeah.
were a few components there, like four ingredients for executive presence. And one of the things that she was saying, the author of the book was saying, as much as we don't like this, uh, how we look matters. And
Mm.
when we are obese, unhealthy, it impacts. Impacts whether we're promoted or not. It
Mm.
impacts whether people, clients, choose to work with us or not. And I can't talk about exercising if I'm not doing it. I can't talk about some of these things if I'm not,
Mm.
like you said, Joris. I like what you were saying, that you do it by leading by example. Like you do it yourself, and you don't do it to be the example. You do it for yourself, but
Mm.
you turn into an example this way. And this is one of the things, like when it comes to exercising, extremely beneficial for everything, absolutely everything. And it comes, what you were saying, that you don't reward yourself. Yeah, you kind of military style. But I do, based on what I'm reading and what I know, I do think that exercise, it comes with a pre-built reward because of
Mm.
the way that we feel, the endorphins, that adrenaline, that accomplishment, that sense of accomplishment. I'm going through the first phase of 645 for a second time because I thought that I didn't feel strong enough to continue to the second phase. And now I'm strong
Mm.
enough. My weights, I'm using higher weights and I'm strong enough. And this progress, it makes me motivated to show up for the next training session and show up for the next and the next. So this is one of the things as well. And with habits, consistency is important. And a lot of people are waiting for motivation. Oh, Monday, I'll start Monday. Oh, I'll start January
Mm.
1st. Like, oh,
Yep.
I'll start whatever. So motivation comes when you start and you start seeing the progress. When you start seeing, again, especially with exercise, even if you are generally healthy and your weight is in the healthy range and all these kind of things, the feeling you get, the fact that like, you notice things that you're able to do that are easier. You are not like you can go up the stairs without feeling tired. Like there's so much that happens, and once you start seeing that small progress, it motivates you. You're like, okay, let me put my shoes on, let me put my clothes on and do this. And I like what you said about if you can do it at 10 o'clock, do it at 10:30 or 11 or 2 o'clock or 5 o'clock, whatever it is. This is one of the things that there is a book that I think it's called How to Change. And again, based on studies, this is one of the things like what they found out about people who are able to uh, change, to create those habits, that if you are too strict, if you say, oh, I'm exercising at 10 a.m., that's it. If something happens and I'm not exercising at 10 a.m., this is it, like you don't exercise. But if you are a little bit more flexible, where it's like, oh, it's 10 a.m., I'm not able to do this, but it looks like I can do this at 2 p.m., and you do it at 2 p.m., it's okay. Not every day has to be 10
Mm.
a.m. Uh, yes, it's good to have to create a little bit of that trigger. So, and time is a good trigger. Like time is a good doing it the same time every day. It's a good way to start craving it, like start craving that activity, the exercise. But if on some days you can't do it at 10 a.m. or 5 a.m., do it 5 p.m. Do it whenever you can. And the last one I wanted to mention with don't break the chain. Taking a break, of course, yes, like it's important, uh, but more than 2 days off and you're going down a bad path, like you're going down
You're done.
the wrong path. You're going, instead of climbing that mountain and reaching that goal. I see Flandor behind you and I'm like, who? Instead of climbing that mountain and going towards where you want to be, towards the person you want to be, you start going backwards, you start winding down. So uh, be very vigilant and careful when you miss. And this is where vacations can be, travel and vacations. And I know you said next week you are in Europe, so it will be harder. Like you need to get up and do things in the morning. But
Yeah,
even if it's just 15 minutes of activity in the morning, it stays with you for the next, it can stay up to 12, 24 hours even with you, the energy you get out of it.
absolutely, absolutely. I found out. So I fly 9 hours to Vienna. I get off. I I don't. I hate the airplane. Even the business class breakfast. I don't eat it. I tell them not to wake me up. So the last dinner I have here is done until I get there. I get off the airplane. I go through immigration. I pick up a car, drive 2.5 hours to Graz, go to the hotel, check in. The first thing that I do, and you've done this with me before, strap on my shoes, go for a jog, which is around noon. This is when I talked about lifestyle. When your habits become a lifestyle, when you wake up in the morning, you have to do laundry. Do you have a set time for laundry? No. If you have a time at 10 o'clock, you'll do it. 5 o'clock, you'll do it. What is the difference between laundry, grocery shopping, eating, showering, and workout? If workout is one of your objects, like objectives of your lifestyle on a daily basis, you'll find the time to do it. You'll flex I have a very flexible, very like variable uh, work schedule, but I fit with all the travel. I fit the workout as part of that lifestyle. So it's you have to want it. If you don't want it, there are thousands of excuses for not doing it. Travel, tired, my mom called me, uh, I don't know, my car broke. So many things that I feel sad for myself. I don't know, whatever. But if you have that one reason that you know that if you work out, that endorphin feeling on the other side of that workout that you know you're gonna feel, it's like, okay, I'm doing it. It's that 1 millisecond, like second. And you said more than 2 days of break? No, more than 1 day of break. 2 days is already too much. More than 1 day of break, if you're really serious, more than 1 day of break is too much. 1 day break is the max.
Definitely one day, like when you're feeling good, everything is good, one day is the max, absolutely. Because again, what I meant is that once it becomes 2 days, you're getting into that territory where suddenly the path goes down. And you were mentioning something with again, working out becoming part of your lifestyle and your daily routine and having the reason to do this. It's interesting how all these things align with, like, again, what we were talking about last week as well, with your mindset, with how you see yourself. With, you can blame the weather and say, oh, it's raining outside, or and this can be the excuse of not doing anything, or you can stay inside, do a few jumping jacks, do like a few push-ups, sit-ups, whatever it is, like some kind of an activity, and that's it. Or you can drive to the nearest gym and do something there, go to a treadmill. whatever it is, or go downstairs if you live in a condo building. Go downstairs to the gym and do something there. But one thing that, I guess we are approaching the end of the conversation for today. One thing that I wanted to mention again is how important consistency is. How important consistency is, and it's not easy. It's not easy, and this is where having, yes, having the reason is important. Having a strong reason to do this every day, day in and day out, it's important, and it is something that when it comes from within, it's the best thing that can happen. Another way you can keep yourself kind of accountable is finding someone to be accountable to. Like if you were in the group, in our Facebook group, Focus and Fulfillment, we can be your accountability partner. Share in the group that this is what you're doing and you want accountability, and we can keep you there. Post your workouts, things like this. Like uh, having someone to report to in a way can be um, a good way to motivate yourself, a good way to push yourself. And a lot of times, that idea with the carrot and the stick, maybe have both. Maybe have a carrot where, and Joris, you mentioned something that we are doing there. For every 5 pounds I lose, we have chocolate. And so when I'm under 200, which fingers crossed it will be like this week before you head to Europe, we have the next chocolate. Otherwise, we don't have chocolate. And then a stick. Have a stick, and some people go to extremes where they write a check for organization they hate, and then they give the check to their accountability partner. It's like, if I don't do this, you send the money to that organization I don't like. My hard-earned money, you give it to. So there are ways to, again, these sayings that we have. Especially like what was it, when there is a way, when there is a will there is a way. You'll find, when you want, you find that motivation within you. You found that accountability partner. You come up with a reward. You come up with the stick, something to be like, okay, I'm not going there. Let's go. And now, because we are talking about exercising, of course, if you are starting from zero, if there is anything, talk with a professional. What we're sharing is our own journey, and what we're talking about here is how amazing it is, how much it helps. Science has proven it, that what exercising does, the way it keeps us young, it kills uh, cancerous or possibly cancerous cells before they develop. It helps with blood flow throughout the whole body, including going to your brain, keeping you sharp, keeping you focused. It energizes you. It makes you younger. It reverses your biological age. Like, why not? Why wouldn't you get out there? And I'm saying this from someone who is still working on this. And I'm experiencing the highs of getting into this right now. And I love the progress. I love what I'm seeing. I love how the pants I'm wearing right now, they're not tight. Like, it's amazing. And I will keep on running. I'll keep on exercising. And this is one of the things I will keep on um, sharing as we continue on this journey together. But yeah, like when it comes to habits, doing these things repeatedly, one of the best keystone, and a keystone habit is a habit that it changes things. Like, it's not just that some habits are just habits, like they don't really impact a lot of things in our lives. But a keystone habit, it impacts at least the whole area in our life. And with exercise, it's actually a habit that impacts everything in our lives. So if you're not regularly exercising, if this is not a habit, highly recommend focus on this.
I know we're out of time. One quick point. Yes, you're right. In the beginning is difficult. It's very hard because you're working towards two things. One is inertia, and two is our lazy brain. Our human brain does not want to work out, does not want to exert itself. It's designed from the moment we are conceived in our mother's wombs to the moment we go 6 feet under. Our brain is designed to preserve its cells and not to destroy any cells, not to destroy anything. So it's really one of the things we talked about habit generation is one of the reasons we, especially what you said about driving. If you notice, we drive to the same place, same path, because our brain, once it creates the neural path, doesn't want to go a new path. That's to preserve. Anyways, long story short, you said yes, it's hard. But the good news is now you see how easy it is for me because I'm now in a maintenance mode. Once you reach a level, you go into a maintenance mode, it becomes much easier. It's not as it is day one, as it is day 10,000. It gets easier, it gets streamlined, and then you find what works for you, whatever it is, that ellipticals, whatever it is that you do. But it does, there is light at the end of the tunnel, so it does get easier. Don't get discouraged.
Awesome. This is really awesome, and thank you for this conversation, Joris. And uh, now, if you are in the Focus and Fulfillment group on Facebook, hop in and say hi. If you're not in the group and if you'd like to join it, there is a link in the description of this podcast episode, so you can hop in and join the group. We just resumed it, so uh, it's a brand new group in a way, but you can see us personally in person as we are, well, virtually in person, as we are doing these conversations live in the group. So you again, you can hop in, ask questions, interact with us, and yeah, this is it. I think for today, we already did our run at 10 a.m. before the recording, so we're good. Now it's time for watermelon or cherries, one of the two, and we'll see you next week with I don't know what topic it will be, but definitely an interesting one.
See ya.
Bye.